Plus, this shot, like this skill, is not as good as Rain of Arrows. So do not gamble on it so much. The only way it's gonna be very beneficial for you in blue line if you can prog it. Oh my. Okay, 1 second. I have to fucking teach someone a lesson, man. What is this fucking shit, man? My fucking videos!
Well, well, well. If it isn't a family-friendly pancor. Just kidding, I'm back on my bullshit. We continue our guide about Blue Hunter from where we left off, which was Blue 1v1, which is like more suited for PvP, right? You could still work with it in PvE landscape and all that stuff. And however, it's optimized specifically for 150 combat on 1v1, and usually it tends to be in PvP. This part of the guide is gonna explain to you what you should be aiming for if you're leveling from 1 to 150 as a blue hunter, and also maybe I don't want to really make a third video. Maybe I'll squeeze in all of my different AOE single target strength stance, precision stance specs. Maybe, just maybe, if it doesn't go overboard with time. Okay, let's go into it. To start leveling as a blue hunter, first thing foremost, instead of, assuming that we have 98 points, which we don't, we best assume what exact checkpoints we need to reach before we go for the next one. Because there is two trees primarily and a bit of the third one, which are all going to be playing really good together when you have 98 points. But how do you spec into them equally before that? Let's identify the checkpoints. For the blue tree as a blue hunter, you are trying your first checkpoint, first and foremost, you have to reach rapid fire, which means you have to spend 31 points into this tree. Remember, each tree has about 32 spendable points because every rank has about 5 points to progress, and rank 7 only has 2 skills. So 32 points per each at most, but however, also when you activate one tree, you do not get those 7 rank perks from the rest of them. So honestly, it is going to be 32, 30, and well, not even 30, more like 25, because we're trying to just unlock this one. And even less here. It's going to be more like 5 or at most 10 points that you'll ever use. Okay, let's get into it. How do we reach to rapid fire but still doing good damage? So first thing I would do with you is I would get this. I would get strong draw. Read the memo. Strong draw just increases the damage for your focus skills. In Blue Hunter, you're utilizing for the most part your focus skills because your inductions are very slow. In Red Hunter, you're doing the opposite. You're utilizing mostly your inductions and then you use your focus skills on occasion when it is like when you need to. So by default, boosting strong draw for you in Blue Hunter is good, and also it unlocks you the next rank. You can already progress into the next rank, however, I would still get a point here. If you get 6 points, just max it out immediately. And then you can start proceeding to this line. Here, I would, if I were you, I would get all of these nice things. I wouldn't get intent concentration, because this skill you won't be using much, and also, if you're gonna be using it, it's not that big of a cooldown, and this just removes cooldown a bit, so not it's a bit of a waste of a point. Don't take it. However, quick shot is nice because again, the quick shot now generates focus. It has a 12% chance of focus application, one additional focus. So you see here, we're applying one additional focus with quick shot, and here we're also reducing the cost of your focus skills by one focus, also 15%, if like we max out, let's say, to 4 ranks, right? 16. But honestly, I just put 2 ranks because I want to progress, and the rest thing you can do is just put one more point here to get even higher application chance. If you want even higher, go higher, but you could just take range damage instead. It's just gonna improve your overall damage. You could put like 4 points into it and progress already ahead. Now, by this point, like I said, the checkpoint is here, but also you could start already thinking about getting this skill on your pen shot, because pen shot is your main focus debuff and your main focus skill that you're going to be using all the time. besides barrage, because you need to update that debuff. It gives you rent armor, and now that you can add this, it will also increase the critical chance on your hits. If you have pen shot, 10-second bonus applied to the target all the time, you're gonna have that chance. So essentially, when we get to the red tree, you will have this trait looking something like this: minus 10% penetrating shot critical vulnerability debuff, which means it's like about 10% extra crits, like in a dumb way of describing it. But for now, just start thinking about it. Let's say put a point into it, see how it works. But again, we need to cover some checkpoints. And to cover the rest of the checkpoints here, get these two skills. Blood Arrow is your another very useful focus skill. It doesn't just regenerate your health, it doesn't just do a lot of damage as a focus skill in your focus rotation. It also removes corruptions, which are sometimes important to remove from bosses because they create obstacles for you that could be easily negated if you know exactly what your skills do. And if there is a corruption you need to remove for, let's say, damage, like if you're doing tier 12 delvings, sometimes you have those corruptions for incoming physical, incoming ranged, incoming whatever, and those can be removed with Blood Arrow. If you just shoot them, all of a sudden that minus 75% debuff is gone. This is the use of this skill. And what else? Oh, and another thing that it does, it unlocks you this skill, Exsanguinate, which is another focus skill. It's gonna get application chance from this, and it's gonna be multiplied by this as well. And also, it gives you a little bleed, which is in real, it's a good bleed, a small one, but if you get it to 3 points, the application chance is 100%. And Exsanguinate is like a very, very fast cooldown skill, so you can reapply it maybe like twice a minute or something. So it's pretty good. Next line, what I would do personally for you, right? I would maybe put a point here, and I would put 4 points into volley. Let me explain why. Shot through the heart. Merciful and Heartseeker deal additional damage to bleeding targets. The way it works is that you have to apply a barbed arrow, and then when you hit with your Merciful and Heartseeker, it will have this like small, I guess, bleed damage to it, which amounts to generous amount, like small but generous amount over time. But maybe it is gonna be more practical for you if you're having shorter battles. And another thing we're getting is volley. Now that is a fundamental thing that you have to take. And trust me, dumping 4 points into it is nothing because, oh mama, it's gonna help you. Um, Let me explain to you how it works. Every 30 seconds, depending on how much you slot into the skill, you have a chance of removing induction completely of any induction skill, not focus. And you do it by casting your focus skills. So if you run your focus rotation, which is going to be your primary rotation in Blue Hunter, which is about 7 skills. 7 skills in one rotation, put it to 5 points. Multiply 7 by 15. You get over 100% chance of application. That means that every time, every second time you run your focus rotation, you for sure can shoot out a no induction skill. It could be a Heartseeker, it could be Bards, it could be Split Shot, right, that we got here. Because all of them are big damage. And that is a really cool mechanic. You can later pair it up with another mechanic here, which is gonna help you a lot. Yeah, so keep it. But again, this one has an internal cooldown of 30 seconds, and it's still there. Basically, once you activate volley and you prog it, you have to wait 30 seconds until you can even start activating it again with your focus skills. Next line. Now we're getting to the finale of the blue line. This is your first buff that you have to get, both points. Ignore about the restored power for 1 second, for 5 seconds, because that's not what we're getting it for. After that 5 seconds of restoring power, it's gonna activate the real deal, the real buff, which is gonna be 25% range damage. But it only comes in after 5 seconds of that power regeneration. We definitely get this skill. And now to progress here, again, we spent 28 points. Remember, we still need 2 points to unlock this. And what I would suggest for you to start doing is start going into your bleed damage. Because Barbed Fury in total gonna give you around 20%, right? And you can max it out later completely. So start going in there and now unlock your rapid fire. This skill is what allows you to run your focus rotation. When you activate it, for 10 seconds, you can cast all focus skills without any focus cost. So we kind of get this one and this one. Come on. And you guys pop them in the same window. So let's say you pop Strength to the Earth, you wait for 5 seconds for the mana to regen, and then it pops the 25 for 20 seconds, and at the same time you could pop Rapid Fire and start your barrage rotation with all your focus skills. That's how it's gonna work for you right now as you're progressing, but later it's gonna be even cooler because you're gonna add another really handful buff that is gonna completely like make your burst rotation either a miss or an absolute hit. But we're done with this tree for now. Let's just move because again we can pick up on every other point that we have left later. Also for landscape, by the way, you could think about this one because 5% evade chance whilst you're moving is great because later, as I said, there are two, like at most, like, what is it, 10 points we're gonna spend in yellow tree. These are the 10 points. If you spend these 10 points, which is gonna be 16% medication and 4% extra evade chance, and also if you run it in endurance stance, which is below, you could boost the endurance stance and it already gives you parry on itself. So I'm just saying, moving target in Blue Hunter is perfect if you combine with this shit as well. But we're not doing it yet because this one is way better for damage. How do we start here? Yes, baby, straight up. I already told you. Just dump all your points in True Shot. I already explained how it works. And next thing you can do is get a Heart Seeker. Just put 1 point into it so you can get it. Then, let me see. This perk is definitely 100% you have to max it out. So start maybe maxing it out like this. You know? Just put equal points into Swift and True and put equal points into Draw Weight. And then unlock next line where we do not need anything. Unless you guys want to run in Strength stance, but I'll show you the spec with it later. What we can do is we can finish, let's say either Swift and True, which, read. So if you do it like just normal rank from 1 to 4, you get just Swift bow damage. It just gets progressively better and better, right? By 6% each, I think. Yeah, by 6%. But then on rank 5, you get minus 100% Swift bow's induction, duration, 10 seconds, plus what I'm trying to say is Quick Shot now has a chance to reset induction for Swift bow completely, which means if you max it out to like to 100 to 5, it takes about 5 quick shots for you to activate it and have no induction. That's pretty nice. You could work around with it and also put point into here. Or maybe put 2 points into here, because now read the memo on this one. Now you can amplify your quick shot even more by letting it reduce inductions of all your induction skills. So basically, when you're casting quick shot, now I have a minus 7% bow induction. And the next quick shot is already faster. And I have now even more. I have minus 14% induction. And I cast another one and it's even faster. And now I have 21% minus induction, because it stacks 3 times. It, as you can see, duration 6 seconds. You can stack this quick shot several times and maintain this for about 6 seconds as long as you keep casting your quick shot. So basically right now, once you're done with your focus rotation, once you run out of your focus skills and your rapid fire is gone for like the next 1 minute, what you could abuse is your quick shot and trying to minimize inductions while firing quick shot, and then maybe activating Swift and True and firing Swift and True. This is the way you would be dealing with your no focus rotation when your rapid fire is expired. How do you progress from this one? This line, we need everything. Boom. Why do we need these two? Because they are your other focus skills. Yeah, Merciful Shot is your cash out. It's going to be your strongest skill. It's going to appear after about 50% of target's HP because it can smell blood. It can smell blood so hard. It just appears like a like a kill stealer, but it does mercy kill, you know? It's in the name. It's really good. And also another really good skill is Rain of Arrows, especially after they buffed it up by 5% or something. Now it became even better. It was really good before and now it's just better. So get it. You could put 2 points into it because again, it just makes it stronger. Remember, we're like trying to level slowly, so we're not trying to hurry. We're trying to maximize our damage as much as we can instead of like, oh, it all looks so nice. I want to get everything. Let me just spread out my points brainlessly around it. No, we're cooking, boys. We're cooking. And now we got to the sauce the final thing that we need. Actually, go on. Oh, yeah, nice. Now, these are the buffs. These are the 3 buffs that you're going to be running. If you are interested how to run like solo rotation with these buffs, I already showed it in the other video, but also I'm going to show you how to run with like these buffs in a AOE rotation, also AOE focus rotation. But for now, at this point, right, at this point, boys, we still have 22 points left, but that is it for you. Like, you cannot kind of, at this point, you're just improving your overall damage. You're not really improving your skill set because you got all of the important skills that you need, all of them. You don't need anything else here. What you can do is start improving things that we passed by. Let's say I would go to draw weight because again, 4 ranks, it gives you just 1 perk, but rank 5 gives you 2 perks. Amazing. What else I would do is I would beef up the Heartseeker because Heartseeker is your strongest induction skill, and also, where is it? Where's my baby? Heartseeker is very nice to cast instantly when you activate volley. So beef it up, boys, beef it up. Another thing I would get here is hail of arrows. Now, instead of just being rain of arrows, read the memo. Each target critically hit with rain of arrows has a 50% chance to reduce the skill's cooldown. Becomes 100 at tier 2. It takes about 4 to 5 crits out of the stack with rain of arrows to reset it completely. And rain of arrows, if you put the AOE target count tracery on your LI, you can hit up to 14 targets with rain of arrows, which means you are guaranteed, as long as you're stacking your crits, you're guaranteed to reset it almost every time. It's a really good skill if you're trying to run around and AoE farm stacks of mobs. It's very easy. I also used to use that skill in Delvings until they updated the Malices. Now Malices became, like, the dots that they started putting on you became really... But you can still use Rain of Arrows in Delvings very efficiently. It's just gonna be really harder for you to survive because they're gonna really kill you fast with dots. But yeah, this is like another skill we can get. Finally, we're getting 8 points, and here, honestly, there is not much smart thinking we can do because... no, actually, yeah, we can do one last smart thing, which is get Bow of the Righteous. If you have power problems, right, Bow of the Righteous is the best way for you to maintain your power forever. Also, you have potions. You have, like, books that reduce your mana cost. But this skill is very, very needed for you to maintain your armor long term, maintain your mana long term, because running out of mana on Red Hunter is really fast, but Blue Hunter is even faster. After this one, I would do personally, I would either think about Botkin arrows because again it gives you more induction, or I would think about all skill inductions because again we can pair it up with this and reduce inductions for a lot, and also tracers can reduce inductions for a lot. Or what I prefer, honestly, my personal, I just go into bleeds or something. Like, let me just even get points out of this. Yeah, I go into bleeds because natural extracts is also another. It's the second bleed that you can get, and it's also, if you compare it to Barbed Fury, it's way better prog. So if you put 2 points in Barbed Fury and you want to get more bleeds, just go into natural extracts because the trade-off is way better. I only did it here because I needed to progress, but here I don't need to progress. I can just get this. Boom. And at this point, you got yourself a solid blue line. Basically, this line will work wonders for you long term and in terms of survivability. You got a lot of cool skills, a lot of cool perks, and a lot of cool stuff that you can activate, and it also looks sick, and the animation looks sick, everything looks sick. It's pretty hype. Plus, now you also have extra damage as a hunter, so everyone is gonna be like, wow, he looks so great. Wow, wow, slow down there, Legolas. Man, they're gonna be in A from how good you are gonna be on your blue hunter. Just test it out. Try it with bleeds. But now that I'm done with this one, I hope it has been as instructive as I could. I can move on to like showing you guys the actual specs that I run. Ooh, I'm a bit of an idiot. I'm sorry, guys. I just woke up and I completely missed one perk. I missed one perk that we have to get. Oh my god. What is happening? What is happening with this guy? Um, did I put it here? Yup. 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 Now, screw the bleeds, guys. I made a mistake. I made a huge mistake. Because bleeds I like, but I also like other things, like being stupid. Um, we need this. I completely forgot that we need this. So screw the bleeds, right? For now, if you want to build your hunter, get to this one as well. Because if you cannot get to this one, before you get there, go with this one. Because again, we need to generate focus. Very fucking important. We need to generate focus. And I forgot that this quick shot does fuck all to generate focus. So first, when you're going into blue, the best way to generate focus is precision, which is like if you put 2 points into it, one focus every 3 seconds, and then compared like how do you call it? Combined with a quick shot, it's gonna give you plenty of focus. But once you get to this one, you wanna go into critical eye because it gives you just critical rating. It gives you 5% of critical rating, which kind of busted because it's gonna be like 5% of 30% and also 5% on top of 30%. So if you have 30%, you're gonna have 35 with this one. Busted. We do it so we can unlock this one and screw the other like botkin and all that because we don't need it. We can just go into Hail of Arrows, as I told you. 50% chance. It's not that big of a okay, it is a big of a loss, but 50-50, come on, it's good odds. So yeah, we go into this. This is gonna be your final build. I'm a bit of a screw up sometimes, boys. Forgive me. I say, shit happens when you're sick. But yeah, check it out. You have this before. Once you have like 30 points in 30-point range, you get this. Instead of like getting a lot of volley, you could get this and then get your supplemental volley. But after you get to this, I would remove this and I would get this. And I would still keep this because honestly there is no other better skills that you could use here to supplement you value, except maybe impact arrows. You could get like 1 extra % damage if you wanted to, but honestly we got everything important. All right, let me show you how it works. I guess I have to explain it as I go because there's 4 different cycles, not different, but they differ from one another as they go by. Let me show you. You're gonna have 4 different barrage cycles. The starting one looks something like this. So you pop your strength, wait for 5 seconds, right? Then you pop your burn hot and you start your barrage rotation like this. Boom, 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 boom. And now I should have volley. Boom. And now we wait for our second cycle. Second cycle, we're just gonna do quick shot, pen shot, barrage, quick shot, pen shot, barrage, quick shot, pen shot. Okay, ready? Boom, 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 boom. Now there's a reason we didn't do blood arrow because blood arrow we need for our third cycle. Now we're waiting for the third cycle. It's coming up, boys. It's coming up. Now we again use 0 induction skills. Unfortunately, you cannot afford. And progged. Yes, baby. And now we're waiting for our fourth cycle, which is gonna look exactly like the second one. You do your skills, just whatever skills you want. And then it's starting. Same shit as last time. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, sorry, out of the. But now you get what I mean, right? Also, don't mind me not using Heartseeker all the time, cause I'm just showing you the AOE way of operating the spec. Now, where does Heartseeker come in all of this? Heartseeker in all of this comes in as a utility skill. You do not just apply this Heartseeker to dish out big damage, because again, we didn't do anything to improve our induction, so it's gonna take you 2 seconds. That is like 2 focus skills that do more damage than this, man. I'm just saying, uh, do not prioritize it as much. Yeah, of course, it's strong skill, but for the same reason, you do not prioritize Merciful Shot because you only use it for killing shit at the end, right? So just use it on how do you call it, somewhere in between of your barrage cycles. You can use your Barbed Arrow, and then you can use your Heartseeker, and then you could also, if you slot it into Swift and True, which I don't think you would be able to if you're running this AU spec, but yeah, you could run some other skills in between those barrage volleys. But now you know how those barrage volleys operate. We did 4 of them, and by the time we did 4 of them, all of our buffs are back. That is the point about it. Well, here is another fun way to respect this AoE spec into something kind of way different if you really pay attention to what I did, what type of chemical composition I just made. Um, Look, we added Rain of Thorns, which is another absolute banger um, induction skill. I mean, sorry, absolute banger focus skill. It's gonna be perfect for your focus rotation, of course. And also, like the thing about it, when you cast it, you have to stand. You see, like it asks you to stand, but you can also cut it with blindside, easy. So if you learn the trick of like boom boom, you can just cut the Rain of Thorns. What it does is it adds 30-second root, and it has a 25% break chance. But guess what? In your case, it will it will not fucking break because you do not have any AOE bleed damage. As long as you cast it and run away, there is no way you can break it for 30 seconds. This is your best escape or like a pinning type skill. Also, if you did notice another big change, we're running it in strength stance, which means we're not gonna be getting any precision. Well, we will. Stay with me. We're running strength because of the traceries that you can equip. Uh, the traceries you can equip are like pretty busted for like both damage and survival, cause one of them slows people on quick shot. It adds like 15% slow to quick shot, which means you can just run like this, spam one quick shot, spam another one, and by the time you spam all 3 of them, they're all slowed down, and you can just rotate it, just like this, and then they'll never catch you. This is one thing that we have. Second one is, of course, we have Rain of Thorns, which is just gonna pin enemies, and then you can just run away. Ah! You feel me? And what is other cool shit I added? Let me see. Oh yeah, well, I went a lot into Vismits, because it's gonna help you. I added as 5% evade, of course, beautiful. Damage for dots, I did dot damage. What is other cool things that we can discover here? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah. How you rotate with the stances, cause one sec. Where is the strength? So you run this in strength, right? When you are trying to slow people down. No, you run this in precision. In fact, you run this in precision, and then you slot into strength when you're trying to escape or pin people or kite them or uh, just hoard them in general. Do something to them, to a big group of mobs. But mostly you run in precision. So you run your normal focus rotation, right? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, right? And then you slot into strength, do some quick shots, on every target that you need to. Then it came back, you can go back. If it's not enough, if they're still close to you, just do this and run away. They're pinned now. You can use Cry the Hunter, which is gonna give you another speed boost. All of this is made for you to survive and be mobile as fuck. You can escape a lot, and if they come really close, low cut slows people down by 50% for 10 seconds, and you can reapply it every 10 seconds. And you can also boost it with AoE target count. Do I have it, by the way? By chance, any target counts in the studio? Ooh, maybe this one. Yep. 9 people. It was 4 people, now it's 9 man. You can cut ankles of 9 enemies if you're just facing them. If they're facing you, and it's very easy, they just have to come close and hit you for once. What you can do is just cut their ankles, they hit you, but you're gonna survive because you're mitted out, boy. You're really fat. And if you don't survive, Cry the Hunter. Again, it will stun them, not just slow down, but also stun them. Like, check out the memo, by the way. It slows them down for 50% of the target run speed. It doesn't stack. What you can do is rotate them. You can rotate low cut and Cry the Hunter together, because they both are the same buff, in the same buff category, debuff category, and they're really good as well, because they're AoE. Both of them fucking AoE, man. So use both of them in the rotation, and also I gave you Press Onward, which gives you another speed boost. And it also like it doesn't stack with Cry the Hunter, but you have so much survivability. It's crazy. Like I remember I was first running my Delvings, like oh not Delvings, I was running Thickel Gundu, and I was trying out to see if I could like how many enemies could I hoard on Blue Hunter, and I did it to like halfway or something that I could hoard shit ton of them, but then I just got overwhelmed and cornered and yeah, one fucking second and I'm dead already. So trust me, this shit is useful if you're trying to like kite and rotate and survive, run away, skeet away. It's perfect. It's an upgrade from the previous one for sure. Oh yeah, last thing about this AoE spec, it's like there's three stances that you can rotate. So right, let me just show you exactly what I mean by that. Oh, strength, precision, yeah. So you run your main damage rotation as I showed before, right? You run it in precision because it's gonna generate the most damage. And now we activate yeah. And then if there's too many of them, you could do Rain of Thorns, animation cut it, escape, and then come back. If there is still catching up to you, you could go into strength, do quick shots, a few quick shots on each target. And by the time you did it, you can go back into precision if you're doing damage. Or if they're getting really close, you go into endurance and you use Cry the Hunter. Because it's gonna stun people in the area of like around you and it's gonna stun 10 targets. And if that's not enough, if there's still targets chasing you, use low cut. Because low cut does exactly the same minus 50 percent speed for 10 seconds. You can reapply it every 10 seconds for 9 targets. So again, AoE shit. After that, after you're done escaping, you can go back into your strength or precision. This is the fun way you can rotate all three stances in your survival solo gameplay. Because trust me, if you go soloing shit like soloing 6 mans or soloing 3 mans or soloing Delwings and you start learning how to use all of your stances and all of your skills, because like trap is also a useful skill because like it pins people for 30 seconds. Yeah, 30-second route, same shit as the fucking Rain of Thorns. If you utilize how to use it, like I can use it like this. You see, animation cut it as well. Like kind of I put a trap, yeah, I have like a fucking 1 second animation, but who cares, man? I can still animation cut it and escape. Like all of these fun things, just learn what each stance does when you switch into them, and also look at the traceries, what they do to your weapons when you switch to different. Okay, I ain't gonna bullshit. The real reason I'm not showing Elias is because I'm lazy and I gotta equip it as well. It's a lot of work. But also, why would I show you how to build Elias? I gave you all the nice skills. Just go read it, learn it yourself. Isn't it a bit more exciting than listening to me spoil every secret of this class to you? I don't think so. So, yeah, kind of. You guys can figure out Elias by yourself. You already know the basis for the damage Li, and just build from there. You know all the biggest damage skills. But now that I showed you all the cool utility, just start, switching shit around with utility traceries. Or maybe like add 5% in combat speed boost like I do sometimes because it's funny. It is funny. So yeah, I mean that's it. That's it for the guide. So have fun, boys.